All right, Stan, appreciate you doing this with me, buddy. And really excited about this program with Mike Dillard and Mike Mucci. The thing we're going through is called Your List Grow Business Plan. So, Your List Grow Business Plan. And this document will help create our List Grow Business Plan. By the time we fill in the blanks, we'll know exactly what kind of business to build, who to market to, what to name it, and how to set ourselves apart from the competition. So module 1, video 1 talks about choosing your niche. What are you currently an expert in, or what would you like to become an expert of? And so in your case, the question would be, what are you currently an expert in? I'll let you answer that.
Well, I think the best way to answer that, Chuck, is that there's a number of things, and I'll build it like building blocks for you if that helps. I would say the first thing that I'm an expert in is putting meal plans together, and allowing people to understand why they're taking this meal plan and now making it part of their daily structure. So then the expert points of that is also helping people, if they're interested in a workout plan that complements that eating style, and we'll take that eating style and multiply it by 3 to 5 times, maybe even as much as 10 times the production. The workout, I'm an expert at putting the right workout at the right time. Now, in this workout program and in this meal plan program, where the expertise has come is being able to read the human body and understand the needs for the human body, such as the 90 nutrients, making sure that the body gets the 60 minerals, the 16 vitamins, the 12 amino acids, and the 2 essential fatty acids. When that's built into the meal plan and the body performs, whether it's outside a gym or inside a gym, it will get extraordinary results.
Well, it's funny, Stan, because 16 weeks ago when I came to you and asked for the meal plan and the training program, and you recommended the things you did for us, I had no idea that I would someday be one of your testimonials. But what I've seen in my own body has been an amazing transformation beyond anything I could have ever imagined. And in such a short time, too, I was really shocked that, basically 15 weeks exactly, we've just seen a miraculous transformation. So I want to personally thank you. So the next question on this interview is, what is your biggest passion or problem?
Well, let's start with the problem first, because we just identified that in a conversation, prior to this interview. And the problem is educating enough people fast enough before they get, and I'm going to put it frankly, deathly sick, because they don't know what they don't know. And what the media and the medical world and the pharmaceutical world is pushing is it's a chemical controlled body, when we know that it's electronically induced and controlled through plant-based nutrients, and those atoms are negative and positive atoms coming into the body. So that's the biggest problem, is getting people aware fast enough before there's a problem. And the other part to the question is, what is my biggest passion?
Yes.
The passion is helping people be successful in life, both healthy and financial, because what I've seen happen in many people's lives, Chuck, is that when they become healthy or when they become unhealthy, there's no money in the world that can fix Humpty Dumpty when he's fallen off the wall and broken into pieces when it's gone too far. So my biggest passion in life is to help people get to a healthy lifestyle that can ripple effect into their relationships, to their work, into their play, and allow them to enjoy life at a place where they're not worried about getting sick.
That's excellent, Stan. I've seen that passion on a daily basis play out in your life. The next question is, what area of your life do you want to radically change or improve?
Right now, the biggest thing I want to change is how to attract people to this information, to me and this information. I'm a great orator. I think I'm good at teaching and sharing the information, but I want to change the ability to be able to take people into an action mode. That is a huge passion right now. The call to action. I want to develop that so people don't even think, they're not even thinking about it. They're just doing it because they have the right information. They don't have to go home and think about, do I have the right information?
That's good. The next question is, what niche or subject matter do you really have an interest in building a business around?
I'd have to say, without a shadow of a doubt, it's better health.
Expand on that for me a little bit, because better health is a broad category. When you say better health, what does that mean to you?
It means getting away from the manipulation and reliance that America has on a chemical-based society, which means that they're using medication as a Band-Aid to manage their pain, to manage their high blood pressure, manage their sugar levels. This all can be done nutritionally and naturally through electronic nutrition. And it's been proven hundreds of times, thousands of times. So I hope that helps you.
Yeah, I did. This next is a two-part question, so I'm just going to ask the first part, then I'll ask the second. But the first part of the question is, are there a lot of other people who share this problem, passion, or interest?
There are a lot of people that are sharing the same passion, but there are not a lot of people that have the knowledge that a select few of us have. So this is really a niche. And I would say that I don't think, and this is just a guesstimate, but I don't think there's more than 10,000s or tens of thousands, maybe at best, of people that have my type of knowledge. Because when I run across directors, athletic directors, and professors that actually teach this information, they don't know what we know.
And the way you answer that question is pretty much the way it was formatted. But I think for the purposes of this interview, let's focus on the problem that you've identified that you want to help, you're passionate about seeing solved. Are there a lot of other people out there that share the problem that you see there's a need to be solved?
Yes, and what to zoom in on that for you would be this, is that they know they want to feel better. They know that they have at one time in their life or could feel better, but they don't know how to get there. They don't have the right ingredients. So it's kind of like grandma making a cake, and she has a special recipe for the cake, but every time she makes it, man, it's just awesome. And it takes care of that taste bud at that time. People have such a need around the country. They want to feel better. They're actually doing some of the weirdest things I've ever seen in this last 3 to 5 years to try to feel better. They even think that if they work out harder and sleep longer now, that they're going to start learning, teaching their body to feel better. And unfortunately, those are only 2 of the 6 components that are needed to deliver that process. So the information is so scattered. I want my passion and desire and the need for this. People are so hungry. It was amazing in this last 5 days, like I was sharing with you earlier, how people were just sitting there mesmerized with this information, from the church people to the people that were at the meeting last night, ages from 20 to 70, or even there was a lady in the crowd that was 94 on Sunday, and they were just sitting there like this, hearing and absorbing and being touched by this information, but they just don't know how to apply it. See, it's one thing to have practical knowledge, but there's another that to be able to take that practical knowledge and put it into applied science.
Good, Stan. Now, this is kind of a rabbit trail, but I think you bring up a good point. You mentioned that sleep and exercise are 2 of the 6 elements. What are the other 4?
Well, the number one thing is nutrition. The body has to have the right components. Then it has to have the ability to do protein pacing or meal pacing to be able to deliver that information at the right time of the day. So when you're structuring, so number 1 is nutrition. Number 2 is knowing how to deliver the nutrition. Number 3 would be then how does the body recover? Is the body getting enough time and enough resources to be able to recover correctly? And that is where sleep comes in. Number 4 would be the process of getting the right nutrients and the right foods, understanding that the meats that we buy from certain places and the dairy products that we buy, like the chicken and the cheeses, that they're not full of fats just pushed back into the product. We have, like we were talking about last night with some of these people, is that they don't even know where to find a good butcher. So they're eating store-bought meats that have nitrates in them. So, those are and then the other 2 components would be what we talked about was training and exercising.
So what's the difference between number 1, nutrition, and number 4, the right food and nutrition? What would you see? How do you differentiate between those 2 components?
Well, because certain foods like vegetables and fruit still carry a level of nutrition that the body needs. And it's necessary for people to get that nutrition into their body, or that right information periodically throughout the day, through a process of protein, carbs, and fat, and also making sure that you're getting, so like if nutrition is number 1, understanding the 90 nutrients, the second part of that nutrition, or the 4th part, is how to apply it to your daily walk. That's a missing key, is how to apply it to your daily walk. So that's why the meal plan becomes such a valuable tool for people, is because that meal plan, actually, it's not a diet. I don't believe in diets, because everybody that does a diet does exactly what the diet does. It helps you lose weight because you reduce your calories, but there's not enough nutritional value in those 5 to 7 to 800 calorie diets. So what do people do immediately when they get done? They gain the weight plus extra pounds, because they never change their nutritional format.
That's really good, Stan. Now, number 5, you had training, and number 6, you had exercise. What's the differentiation between training and exercise? Those seem very similar to me.
Yeah, training is putting yourself into a religious regiment. Every day I'm going to do 10 minutes. See, people think that if they have to go, here's a myth that needs to be broken. Even though I put training programs together for people that do meal plans with me, going to the gym is, you cannot lose weight. You could go to the gym, let's just say you could go to the gym for 3 hours a day and you wouldn't lose weight. What you would lose is muscle mass, because your body would go from a anabolic state where it's actually trying to build muscle, to a state called catabolic, and that is where it starts to cannibalize itself. That's why when you go to the gym in January and you see this whole brand new crowd of people that come into the gym in January, what happens is those people leave in December and they have not changed their composite or their structure. In fact, most of them actually went backwards in their structural and their frame. So to exercise, or to let's just say it like this: to train, when you're training, you do not have to have be in the gym. You just have to do the same religious things for 10 minutes or 15 minutes periodically throughout the day. That's what we call training. Training your body when you're fueling your body, how to get up away from here's a great example. Those people that work in an office or a sedentary lifestyle, what they need to do that they don't know is every 15 minutes, they should get up for just a couple minutes and walk around, even if they took a routine around the office and sat back down. That would be called training. They're training their body to use the nutrients that their body has. Number 4, exercising in the gym is following a workout program.
Excellent. I'm glad we took that rabbit trail because that really spoke to me. I'm sure we can help people with that. The second part of that initial question, remember the initial question was, are there other people that have this problem? You've addressed that extremely well. The next question is, who are these people? Who are they?
That have the problem?
Yeah, that have the problem.
I would say that right now it's 97 to 98% of America. We have a program right now, a nutritional program, that is actually answering the needs to over 90% of America. These are people that are anyone that eats grains, wheats, oats, barley, rye, anybody that is eating vegetables, fruit, and nuts from the ground in which we raise them from is minerally deficient. And unfortunately, everyone has a problem. Minerals are the cofactor to how the body functions. If the body it doesn't have the combination of 60 minerals on a daily basis, it loses the ability to help the vitamins absorb, the enzymes to digest and do the function that the enzymes are brought in to do. It actually affects your DNA, your RNA, your chromosomes. It affects everything. So that's the problem. And we have been isolated that problem as a group of people for over 70 years.
What products and services, again, this is the same question, there's 3 parts. What products and services do they being the people with this problem, currently buy?
They buy everything off of the natural or supplements stores shelves that are full of bright colors, glitz, or it's the number one thing that was written in a book and they have no clue that it was in that person's meal plan at that diet because they were cutting or because they were building or because they were trying to maintain, but they're using it for something totally different. So they're buying, in some cases, a lot of the right products with the wrong ingredients at the wrong time of the year or the wrong time of their season. So they get nothing in result, and that's why people are skeptical. So the problem is also a 2-part problem. They know there's nutrition stuff out there, but there's a lot of companies that don't have a moral compass that, see, we're not regulated. The nutritional world is not regulated by the FDA because it is not a drug. And even though it's a food or a food supplement, it's not a drug. So it doesn't fit in the FDA's category. So therefore, what happens is the only way that these companies that put their products on the shelf are regulated is by a moral combined compass that's internal in the leadership of that company to have a no compromise process in their quality control, in their recipes, and in the management to deliver the end result to the product. And as we've talked about with Versal Shaw, he is a great example of a company that he owned, that he had the moral compass. He wanted to have his products tested. But the company itself, even after being tested, found out that their products were inferior, still tried to sell them to a group of people that had no clue. And that's the second part to the problem. People, the first part is they know they have a problem, but they don't know where to turn to get this information. That's why this information that I share starts to be such a commodity, because people go, well, I knew I needed branch chains. I knew I needed aminos. I knew I needed these minerals. I knew I needed these vitamins, but I tried this product and this product and this product and that product, and I didn't get anything. So I spent all this money and I got nothing. That's what the doctor of nutrition said last night at the meeting. These companies are fooling people. We have a product that has a moral compass and a delivery system that's beyond. That's why people don't understand what isogenics is until they get it into their body.
All right, Stan, great job so far. Question number 6. What is their single biggest pain or desire that you can solve?
The biggest pain that I hear on a consistent basis is that they could do nothing for Uncle Herb or Uncle Frankie that just died from diabetes or from this disease or that disease. And I can solve all chronic diseases because they are a mineral deficiency. They are not gene transferred disease. There is not such thing. The biggest problem is, and the biggest concern is that they couldn't do anything about a relative that passed away, and they're upset and they're sad.
What do they want most?
To feel good and to be healthy consistently. Feeling good and being healthy consistently consists of no pain, no headaches. Their body can handle and manage the stress of life, the political stress, the work stress, the stress that they put under their body under when they're working hard or working physical or mentally working hard. People don't like to exert themselves all day at work and then be able to come home and they're completely exhausted. They don't have anything left for their wife, for their children, for their families. And that is wearing on America.
Question number 7. How can you solve that problem?
More teaching, more preaching, more sharing. I have the answers. There's the group that I run with. We have the answers. I know what the answers are. It's just having enough time and enough resources to be able to get to the people that need to hear what we have.
Question number 8. List the top 3 existing businesses who currently serve this market.
Wow. The number is so small. I would say Isogenics fits the bill, and not just because I'm with them. If I wasn't with them and I was looking for somebody to run with, I'd say Isogenics is one of them. Douglas Labs is another one of them. Wow, I don't know who the other top 3rd position would be, because there's so many people that are missing the mark. They get pieces of it. They get 1/3 of it, or they get 2/3 of it, and they can't follow the process. Makes it look like they are the hero until another problem comes up and they can't answer that problem.
So let me change that question a little bit. Who are the top 3 companies that try to position themselves to serve this market and maybe fall short?
Yeah, that's easier to identify. Obviously, the top 2 still would be Douglas Labs and Isogenics. Isogenics doesn't fall short, though. But that makes it easier to identify the 3rd one. Really, is another company called, like ours, but it's called Shackley. They're so close to getting it right. I've done so much research about that company. The ingredients, even, they have the resources to get the ingredients. And longevity would be the fourth close. It would be like the tie for third. It's called Longevity. It's run by a doctor. The company's owned actually by Dr. Wallach, who is a naturopathic and a veterinarian, naturopathic doctor and a veterinarian. And I've studied his material for over 25 years. He's just phenomenal with his knowledge, but unfortunately, he's let the control of the manufacturing and the company into hands of other people, and that's hard sometimes.
So other companies, and this is kind of a tangent from the questionnaire, maybe Mike can use it, maybe not, but other companies in the direct sales arena that you did not even mention that try to serve this market, who would some of those be, and maybe some of their shortcomings?
Well, there's a lot of companies that have tried to do this and have failed, and they're no longer in existence. Made a real good run at it, made billions of dollars in the process, but today are not here. There is a company called It Works, and that's a prime example of they have 31 products that they bring to the marketing side of things, but out of the 31 products, they only have 10 that actually do the things that we're talking about. So they drop real short for the process of creating good health in people's lives. They can hit some of the brain issues, some of the shortcomings when it comes to cholesterol issues in the body, growth hormone issues, but they have a hard time. They can do the help with and assist in the process of getting rid of visceral and subcutaneous fat, but they miss the mark when it comes to the balanced nutrition.
What about a company like Advocare?
Advocare doesn't even, in my book, they're way off the mark. That is a company like Visalis that was built on their marketing system, not on their product. What I mean by that,
go ahead.
You want me to?
No, please expand. Please.
Okay. The reason that this happens all too often is because indirect sales, companies are looking to see how much money they can make. Quan Su and I share similar beliefs in this area. New Skin is a prime example. Their system was built on the marketing and showing people how to build a business based on the compensation plan, not putting enough attention on the product, so then the product falls short. And if the product falls short, but the whole company really should have been built around the product, and the results would have came in the money. That's why Isagenix wins on so many occasions.
What about a company like Juice Plus?
Juice Plus is really falling short now because of, even worse, in the last 5 years, what they've done is they've actually they relied on what we call whole foods or plant life. And if the plants, and we've known this since 1936, but if the plant life is mineral deficient, and all the foods we eat from the fields are minerally deficient, what they're only giving people is some vitamins, because this is what plants still give. They're giving some vitamins, some aminos, some essential fatty acids, and some, of the adaptogens that are still available. But think about it like this. When the ground is weak and it can't give the plant what it needs, then the plant is weak, then the product becomes weak. And here's what's happened with Juice Plus. And they had a really good thing going, but what they've had to do is go to adding additional products, 17 products, vitamins and minerals, into their formulation just to make their formulas work. They actually had an article, which is, I feel sad for the companies like this, is where they took their two dominant pills which their mainstay product that they've developed, and which used to give all your nutrient needs, but now was equivalent because of the lack of nutrients in their product, now is equivalent to 2 pills, which usually gave your whole, you only had to take 2 pills twice a day, I think. It was what the program required. And it gave you all the nutritional factors that Juice Plus was promoting. Now those 2 pills are equivalent to 3 bites of an apple. That's how depleted they are. And here's the downside. They didn't expose this correctly to their sales staff or their customers, and now they're destined for failure.
Mm. All right, let's get back on track. I kind of got you on a tangent there, but I think it might be helpful for some of our marketing purposes. Let's go back to question 8, which was list the top 3 existing businesses who currently serve this market. So just to refresh that in your mind, think about those 3, not the direct sales, but the 3 that serve this market. Probably, I'm not sure if it would include ours or not. We probably should not include Isogenics in this conversation. So Douglas Labs, you said, was one of them.
Okay, so let's talk about the top 3 in the industry
That serve the market that you and I are talking about. Yes.
Serve the market. Douglas Labs is one of them. The challenge. You want me to expand on?
Nope. I want you to remember the 3 first. Just go ahead and list them. So Douglas Labs,
USANA,
good,
and TrueStar.
TrueStar. Okay, thank you. Now, thinking of those 3 companies, this next question is, what do they do really well?
Quality control. Yeah, I would say is done very well with those companies, that it attracted the people that I run with and the people that share the same knowledge level or similar knowledge level. Most of us are attracted by the quality of their product and the batch testing and the formulations that they do with their product is very highly rated in the industry.
There's 2 more parts to this question, but it's kind of the same question. I think they're just trying to get you to think of it in different ways. But the next part of that same question is, what do you like about their businesses?
Well, I would have to say number 1 would be their quality control management system when they're bringing in their products and how they get the raw product all the way to the customer and the consistency that they bring to the table.
Now, this is a little different look at the same type of thought process here, but those same 3 companies that we're thinking about, why do you think so many people buy their product or service?
Well, I know the answer. It's because it's doctor recommended. That's the only way you can get some of these products and I'll isolate it for you. Douglas Labs is pharmaceutical grade product. So that means that the FDA and the doctors are helping regulate and legislate this process. So when a doctor prescribes that product to a patient, that product is covered by the insurance programs. So it drives sales.
Now that would relate to Douglas Labs, but the other 2 companies, made TrueStar too.
And TrueStar.
Excellent. That does not apply to USANA, and there's lots of people using their products. Why do you think people buy their products?
Because it works. Because
Excellent.
They work.
All right, going on to the next question, question 10. We're getting down here to the wrapping up the end of page 2 here. What would your business do differently or better?
Teach a process that's easy to understand. When you teach a process, and I try to share this, and every day I feel inspired to even hone that in even better. But when you take the complicated information that's out in the marketplace and you can zero it down and make it an easy system to follow, that people don't have to think about. Once they understand the process, all they got to do is follow the system and they get great results. And everybody that has been on my system, that has understood the system, understood why they were doing what they were doing, and then just applied the system to their life, has gotten remarkable results.
That's awesome, Stan. And, in my own personal experience with you, that's been so key in that I'm not a guy who's going to, meal plan and prepare all these different things and go grocery shopping to get the right stuff. But when I can do something simple, the process that you gave me for working out and my meal plan, it made it very doable. So list 3 to 5 ways that you can set yourself apart.
Number one is knowledge of in simulation or teaching of the information. That's the number one thing, is I break it down so that people can relate it to themselves. I don't talk above their head. I don't talk like a doctor. I don't talk like, and use all the fancy terminology, even though I know it. What I try to do is think about myself as that person and be able to share it with them at a 7th to 8th grade education level so that it's easy for everybody to understand, even the educated. That would be the first. What was the other part of the question?
Well, it's basically list 3 to 5 ways that you can set yourself apart. That's one. What are some other ways that you can set yourself apart from those other businesses that you said are doing a good job?
Okay. Number one is that, and number two would be the meal plan, that the workout program or exercise program that complements and utilizes that information. Number three, that sets me apart.
Kind of gets back to your answer earlier. It's kind of you got the whole process that's simple.
Yeah, and it's broken down into the teaching process of all the steps that they need. That really sets this whole process apart. And then I would have to say is that we're attracting, number three would be is that we're constantly looking for the right products that deliver this process, that complement this process.
Another thing that sets us apart, in my opinion, Stan, you help me because you're the expert here, but the fact that we have 50 full-time scientists on staff, keeping us on the cutting edge, would you say that helps differentiate us?
Well, yes, most definitely. And that's why I've steered and put myself, my reputation, and my knowledge behind this company, is because they have this moral compass of staying on the cutting edge. They didn't just do what I see a lot of doctors doing today, is they got the education, they got the doctoral degree, and now they just exist. And see, to me, a student is only a student when the student continues to learn and progress and to be on the cutting edge. Otherwise, that person stops with their knowledge level, and now they're only as good as what they know. That's why I say all the time, you don't know what you don't know. And if you're not staying, so I would say that's a huge answer for us and for me, is that we have a system that's staying on the cutting edge consistently because they want to be. And here's why I married myself with this system, is because they want to be the largest health and wellness program in the world. And in order to achieve that, they have to stay on the cutting edge, but they also have to be able to outdo Johnson & Johnson, who's an $80 billion company. And I want to be there with a company that has that type of lofty goal.
The one thing I did not hear during your explanation, I think might be one of these 5 areas that differentiates ourselves. And you could expound on this a little bit if you would, but the no compromise guarantee, what's that all about and why is that so important to you?
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier that Isogenics has a no compromise quality control, but really what that means is that they won't compromise their, it's kind of like this, okay? Chrysler Motors or Chrysler, when they're putting a car down the conveyor belt and they notice that they're having a problem with the transmissions not shifting correctly. Instead of stopping the line and stopping production, Chrysler pushes that product out the door. And then when they push that product out the door, all of a sudden that product has an issue, so they do a recall. One thing that really is interesting and is a favorable thing about our system with Isagenix is they don't compromise in that process. They would actually rather shut that product line down until they got it right than and actually withdraw the delivery of that time of that product getting to the marketplace, because they understand something, Chuck, that all of us need to understand. We lost the quality in this country. It used to be quality first, then quantity second. But everything has become such a driven process to put quantity, quantity, quantity. Companies have lost the ability to get back to quality, not Isagenix. And that's what it means to me and to anybody that's interested in a no compromise guarantee. They actually give 100% money back guarantee. I don't know any, very few companies, and can't even give you a name right this minute of a company that actually gives you 100% money back guarantee on their complete system.
So Stan, let me peel this back a little further, because if my numbers are right, there's like 500,000 Isagenix customers around the world, and approximately 2% of those are what we call business builders. You know, you've talked a lot about Isagenix, their quality control, their no compromise. What separates you from the other 9,999 Isagenix associates out there? Why don't I just go get my products from any one of them?
Good question. They don't have a system to be able to continually follow up. I've actually built in my experience a 1, 3, 5, 7, 14, 21, and 30 follow-up system that I actually wrote that allows people to stay in touch with me. I teach the coaching process and how to develop that in our group of people. The knowledge that I have that I bring to the table about producing a system that's easy for people to follow, then nobody else has that. And I've been watching and looking, and I have not seen anybody have that system.
All right, the last question revolves around a complete video module. It's called Choosing Your Business Name and Website Address. So as Mike Mucci, yourself, myself, and our small partnership team here creates this business, what are some potential business names and domain names that we might be able to use that are easy to say and spell? Do you have any ideas that come to mind as you're thinking about the system, the solution, the things we've been talking about?
Yeah, I've given it a lot of thought. My mind doesn't always work in as well in the marketing side, on that side of it, Chuck. But I would look for, I can tell you what I would be looking for. I'd be looking for a simple one name like Isagenix, that one name that means so much when you can tie that into maybe there's a meaning for that name that would be lifelong health or life everlasting, but a one word, so that it would be really easy to be able to market that process. So it would be www, that one word, even if it was hard to spell in the beginning, would be branded so well that it would become a household name, and people would say, just like the word Nike, find a word that has a multiple level of meanings that have to do with good health, strong health, you know, or healthy mind and body, healthy mind and body, or healthy mind and body and spirit, something along those lines.
Very good. Let me see. I think that completes our questionnaire. It sure does. Stan, I appreciate your time, buddy. Good stuff.
Yep.
We'll get this information to Mike Mucci, and I'm going to stop our recording.